the actual module decided to do. And then I'll make my adjustments here and there. I'll boost this, I'll cut this, and move things around. And it just helps make for a better overall like listening experience, especially when I'm going for playback. And for me, the dynamic EQ that Ozone 9 does is important, because when you get a 2-track beat, it's doing this, and it's doing this on the entire record. That is helping the entire record have this motion of cutting or boosting for the entire record.
Gives it movement.
Exactly.
It's not like a stable compressor, like a single band compressor where it's just kind of like
it's all frequency based,
squashing everything.
Yep,
right.
It's all frequency based, and
so it gives a little bit of that bump,
Yep.
That
and it helps those frequencies that it's cutting. It helps them sit, aka having that vocal sit further back in the music. And so because now I have that going on, I can do more things.
Basically, you're stopping those little pokes, those little things that poke through.
Yeah,
yeah, totally. I feel like the Ozone thing. It sounds like it's like the future. You know what I mean? Like people are going to be using this AI technology and just kind of like getting to their mixes and stuff really quickly. I mean, hopefully it doesn't put us out of a job, but
oh nah. See, you know why? Because and that actually already exists. So there's been studies that they've been doing where they'll have a robot mix a whole record from a recording. They'll mix the entire record, and it sounded good. The reason why that'll never put us out of the job is because I can give a machine the record. They'll mix the record, and then they'll even spit out different options that I can pick, this, that, and the third. But what they'll never do is do the extreme wild thing that we as people will do. So we as people will say, you know what? That's dope. Let's throw this whole record through a guitar pedal.
Yeah.
And we'll do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, we'll do something like that. And then throw that on a parallel, and then bring that parallel up into the record, and the record has this overall distortion. And then we'll EQ the parallel so that way it only pops up during the chorus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The machine has to learn something like that, but it's such a drastic extreme that it has to learn when to use something like that. Is something like that even feasible for it to learn? And when do you actually apply something like that from the record that someone's asking for? You see what I mean?
Right.
That is that is 100% a creative decision that only people will make. Not saying that a machine won't have it in there to make it, but it's a creative decision that we will make on the fly the first go round or the second go round.
But musicians who have a good taste in music and good sense of music, but don't necessarily understand all the technicalities of how an EQ works or compressor works, will probably be able to kind of help guide that kind of a process very well.
Hey, look, that's what Ozone 9 is here for. Look, Ozone 10 is probably going to change the game for mastering, to be 100% honest with you. I was talking to the people at Isotope, and they were taking like suggestions.
Ozone's already changed the game for mastering. Let's put it out there.
No, but you know what? We were doing like a survey kind of thing. It was like a group discussion, and they were like, "So what do you think the next plugin should be?" I said Ozone 10, and they're like, "Well, we have that coming." I said, "No, Ozone 10 needs to be able to scan your computer and see what plugins you have and integrate your plugins into its plugins to make the perfect master for you and your sound because of what you have."
That would be insane.
But dope. But really
is that going to happen?
I don't know, but they definitely seemed interested.
Someone was there's a mastering podcast called the Attack and Release Show. I've had the hosts on my show, Sam Moses and Matt Garber. And Matt Garber was saying on the show, he's like, Ozone should just make a DAW. If they made like a mastering DAW, like it would solve so many people's problems.
Well, Dirk made a DAW, a mastering. He has a whole mastering thing for Plugin Alliance. It's not available on Windows yet, but I know the beta for Mac is out right now. Yeah, like all these ideas, I don't think our community understands. They don't fall on deaf ears anymore. Everyone that says and puts out into like the whole ether that's the internet and writes this online, someone's listening. There's a company getting made up right now by somebody that's like 20 something years old. That looks up to Steven Slate and looks up to Dirk and is like, you know what? I'm going to make it. Since no one else seems they want to do it, I'm going to do it. And
it's happening.
Yeah. In 5 years. Right. Yeah. Like, dude, Aria exists. Like if you want your records to sound like a bigger, better, bolder version of your records and get mastered with hardware, dude, Aria exists. You can put your record in right now for Aria, pay your $20. You can have all the different deliverables that go with it, and a little robotic arm will turn these knobs because it's been doing machine learning for years on the masters that are literally in the Billboard top 100, 200, and 300. For years. It's been doing it for years. It has more experience than probably the average mastering engineer as of right now, and it puts out bigger and better masters than literally most amateurs, rookies, or even mid-tier mastering engineers. And we're talking about a literal machine learning robot arm turning the knobs with full recall.
That's insane.
It is. It is. But me and you can sit at home from a mix and send it off right now at $20 and we're good. $20. And if someone says they want something brighter, we can go in and just hit the little bright button. Mm-hmm. Just hit it and we're good.
I have to try it out.
Dude, you probably would be like, oh my God. Like, dude, yeah.
Just to see, you know?
It's free to actually do a preview for it. So you can do like, I think it's like 30 seconds or 90-second preview. And you'd be like, what? I promise you, you're going to be like, what?
Okay, cool, man. Let's try that. Oh man, William, this has been an inspirational conversation, and we talked about so many things like mental health and technology, and just like looking forward to like the industry changing and all these things, and just tons of takeaways and things to think about and mull over until our next conversation.
Oh, of course, man.
But I do want to ask you one more question before we wrap, and I asked you this question last time, but maybe you have a different answer now that a significant amount of time has passed, and pandemic life or whatever else has been happening.
Facts.
So just looking back on your journey, what would be the one thing that you would tell your earlier self to either keep doing or maybe stop doing in order to kind of further your career faster?
Use reference tracks and keep using reference tracks, and never feel like you're too good to not use reference tracks. That'd probably be my number one thing when it comes to mixing. My monitors and my room are more important than any of the gear that I've ever lusted for.
Yes, that's so true.
That would probably be the second thing I would tell myself. Travel even more. Traveling, and I think that was probably on my list as well. Travel from before, yeah. Traveling it can't be oversold. Networking and traveling cannot be oversold. It is probably the most underrated thing done by the average engineer. And for anyone that's listening, I don't care if you remember anything else on this podcast. If you make it to the end part of the podcast and this is what you're hearing, travel. Get your ass up. Go get on a boat, a plane, a train, a car. Walk. It doesn't matter. Networking is key to not just career survival, but career expansion and growth. Being able to network is... It is, there's something about it. There's something about being somewhere else, being somewhere new, meeting new people and shaking new hands that just brings a life to you,
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And I mean, without traveling, I get to do this podcast, and that's exactly how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just meeting people and having those relationships grow, and just having meaningful conversations with people who do what we do, and being a part of the industry and not just by yourself, in your man/woman cave,
That's true.
So important. And expansion. You never
see.
know who you meet is gonna do what, and what kind of thing that could cause down the line, So
that's a fact. And let's see, mastering. There is finding a group of mastering individuals, no matter who they are, and growing with them is an endeavor that should be taken on as early as possible, because personal growth is one thing. Team growth has a bigger impact on you. And the faster and sooner you set up your team, the faster and sooner you can grow to the heights that you feel you deserve to be at.
Damn, that's so smart. And a bunch of people on the show recently have talked about just setting up a team, and it's like the 1-2 punch. Like, cool, take it to me, then I'll send it to him or to her, and then okay, cool, that's your record. Like,
Yeah.
just having that team,
all the
like,
OGs have a
collaboration.
team.
We also talked, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, all of them.
Exactly.
Every single Grammy winner, all the people that be like out here in their platinum and gold records and everything that when people we look up to, yeah, they have a team. All of them have a team.
Everyone's talking about, like, you know, Phineas in his bedroom with Billy making the thing. First of all, that's a team. But don't forget, you know, they have a mixing engineer and they have a mastering engineer.
Yeah, and those guys are definitely part of that team because you know why? Because they help them. Look, I don't care what anybody says. Look, can you record in your bedroom? Yes, people have been doing it for decades now. 100% cool. It's not a new concept, but at the end of the day, it's because professionals are involved. Like, look, this isn't Phineas's first ride, and this sure as hell isn't Billy's first album. Like, these are professionals. She's a professional singer. She's a professional recording artist. I feel like that is what keeps getting when that conversation, and it's just a little side thing. When that conversation pops up, that's what never gets talked about. Being a professional. We're talking about a team of professionals. She's a signed artist. She is not a bedroom home recording artist. She just happened to record at home. But she's a professional singer with a professional writer and a professional writing ability in her own right, whose brother is a professional producer. They went to a professional mixing engineer and then a professional mastering engineer, and those records got put out from a record label. They were of the highest quality that they felt that they could release. And you know what? It showed. And that was before we even learned that they did it at home. That was before we learned they did it at home. I don't think enough emphasis is placed on not just the job can be done anywhere, but the job being done right anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing it right anywhere is more important than just saying that I can do it. Like me and you can record in a bathroom, and people are gonna be like, "Damn, they recorded this album in a bathroom." Yeah, you think a bathroom. You know what our friends are gonna say? Well, what did you do in the bathroom? And we're gonna say, we put up moving blankets in the bathroom. Yeah. And it helped. It gave us a room ambience, and at the same time, we were able to dead all of that, so that way it just sounded nice and pretty. Dude, that's dope. That's what they're gonna say. The headlines: album, Grammy-nominated album, recorded in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like
people like to look past the hard work that people have to do, right? It's like I remember there was a band, I don't know if you know them, Snarky Puppy.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, okay, cool. So Snarky Puppy, and there was like an article going around when they finally hit the big time. It was like overnight success that took a decade in the making. And it's like, you know what? They put in the reps. They worked so hard to get to where they got. And nobody heard about them, and then everybody heard about them.
Yep.
But it's like, no, you didn't just hear about them. They didn't come out of nowhere. They've been being professionals, like you said, for a decade.
Yep.
And that's what it's about. Being a professional and getting, like you said, a team of professionals to work with you to kind of make it all better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. Wow. William, what an inspiration, dude. I love chatting with you. I hope to meet you one day in person and chat again. Yeah. Remind the audience, best place to find you on the internet.
Oh, man. Let's see. For the best place you could find me on the internet. Well, my home away from home is Facebook. So, of course, you can go facebook.com/William_Bowser_QTS. And of course, you can find me on every other social media platform. So Instagram, you can find me at Instagram.com/William_Bowser_QTS as well. And of course, at the home base, QualityTouchStudios.com. And yeah, literally, you know what? And at the end of the day, you can Google me. I am on Google.
Exactly.
Because I think in this entire audio industry, there's literally only one other William Bowser, and he's an instrumentalist.
So easy enough to find the mixing engineer, William Bowser.
Exactly. Literally, you type in my name, type in the word mixing, bam, I pop up on everything and everywhere.
It's ready to roll.
It's weird. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That is probably the weirdest part of my career for myself right now. I've Googled myself like a couple of times in the course of the year, and all of these things that I've done pop up, and it's weird because it's like, wow, I actually have all these credits now.
Sick,
like
man.
I've worked on things like for TV and movies and video games and like music, and holy crap, I've got a career.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden you've done enough of the like we were saying, like you've done enough of those things that just all of a sudden just looks like something.
Yeah, we're adulting. This is audio adulting, like
audio adulting.
You know,
but we're taking a little bit of time for ourselves to kind of, find inner peace, or at least trying to.
You know what it is? This is the part of your audio career where your mom stops questioning if this is an actual career and accepts that this is an actual career. So it's like your mom will look you up